You know, when I read scriptures like Jesus on the boat, Mark chapter 4 with his disciples, and the storm arises on the sea, and Jesus speaks to that storm after the disciples wake him up and declare, "Master, don't you care that we perish?" Jesus speaks, "Peace, be still," and the storm stops. I admit to you, I'm not as amazed in this season of my life that the Lord stops the storm, though that's important. I have to admit that I am just as intrigued by the difference between his reaction to the storm and theirs. There's a storm out on the sea, and the same storm that brings them panic reveals his peace. Isn't it interesting that the very things that make us panic are the very things that reveal the peace of God? And I want to suggest to you that Jesus ultimately calms that storm for them, not because he has to, or not because Jesus is in any way affected by the storm, but simply because that storm affected or distorted their perception of who he was. When they say, "Master, don't you care that we perish?" It is if to suggest you don't care about us, you don't care that we're dying, you don't care about us, that things are going bad. And I have learned that sometimes the Lord will demonstrate dominion over our distortion because God cares that much about us. But Jesus ultimately chides them at the end of this moment. Rather than to commend them for coming to him, Jesus instead rebukes them, if you will. He corrects them about their lack of faith and asks them, why did they doubt? And the result of this story is about his disciples asking a question: who is this that the winds and the sea obey him? I would suggest today that much as it was for those 12 disciples on that boat, that the Lord wants to give us what I call the missing piece. I don't know if you caught it, but when I say peace here, I don't just mean the P-I-E-C-E. I mean the P-E-A-C-E. I'm saying that there is a level of peace that Jesus has that we often don't. And the Lord will not allow us to simply live with God's rescue from our storms. The Lord also wants to bring about a revelation, because the rescue addresses the disaster, but the revelation addresses the distortion that exists in our minds. I would suggest to you today, and for the rest of this week, to consider how many times does the Lord have to rescue us before we get the revelation that peace isn't just what God gives, but peace is in fact a part of who God is. And when we understand that the Lord is our peace, then whenever the Lord says peace, there will be peace. I speak peace. I speak peace to you this week. I speak peace in every area of your life. I speak the missing peace, the peace that you've been lacking, the peace that has not been present, the peace that, regardless to what successes you attempt to accomplish, have still not been a part of your life. The Lord does not merely wish to rescue you, though he will rescue us. The Lord wants to make sure we get the revelation that it's not just about what he does, it's about who he is. That, my friend, is the missing piece. That God is what you need. This is your momentum. What are you going to do with it?